Hello everyone and welcome back. So today's video is going to be super casual. I have a few things that I want to get done here around my house. If you can see in the background, you could probably see my house is like super cluttered and it's kind of driving me crazy. So I'd like to deal with the clutter in my house today. But first, there's a few things that I want to finish up that have to do with my Christmas decorating that I didn't get done before my Christmas tour. So I'd like to get those done today so I can just be done with the decorating part for this year. I have a swag that I want to update that I want to hang on the inside of my front door. And then I also have a few little and then I also have a few like crafty projects that I want to do to add to my decor as well. So that is what I'm going to do today, and I thought I would just bring you guys along with me in case you're interested in following me throughout my day today. So let's go ahead and go downstairs to my craft area and get started on those crafts that I want to finish up for today. And then we'll see where the rest of the day takes us. Oh, before we go, you guys, I went to the thrift store yesterday, to Goodwill. I wasn't planning to go, but I was at the grocery store and it was on the way home. And I'm like, oh, I'll just stop in real quick, like, right? I am so glad I did because I found two amazing things that I am super duper excited about. And I'm going to give you guys a little sneak peek. I will be sharing these on my next thrift store Thursday, which will be what? Next week on Thursday. But because you guys are watching today and I am so excited about them, I'm going to give you a sneak peek of them today. So hold on, let me grab my camera and I'll take you into my dining room where I have now placed them because I got them home, I cleaned them up, and I decorated with them right away. So let me go show you what I found. So we're in my dining room, and this is a little table I have set up here in the corner. If you watched my Christmas home tour, you'll know that this is different. If you didn't watch the home tour, I'll link it down below and up in the cards for you. But can you spot what's new? You probably can tell right away. I found this tree first at the Goodwill. It was $5.99, you guys. $5.99, and that's a really big one. And then I went around the corner to a different row, and they had this one. This one actually has the base, and it lights up. It has the light inside of it. I'll turn it on. There we go. Isn't it gorgeous? These are my first actual antique ones that I have ever found. This one is absolutely gorgeous. I love the fact that it has the original base to it and the original light bulb in it. I love it so much. And then this one doesn't have a base and it doesn't have a light for it, but it is lit up. I've put one of those strands of lights in it that are like battery operated that are wire, so I can kind of tuck it into the little branches or whatever, so it kind of stays in there. And it turns on every single night for like 6 hours and then turns off again. So it is awesome and works perfectly inside of this one. Of course, it is not lit up right now, but it lights up really nicely with those little lights in there. And I love the fact that it comes on and off all by itself. So I was super thrilled to find both of these, and it was so funny because I was standing in the line with both of these in my cart, and that was it. That was all I bought. And this lady came walking by, this older lady, and she's like, oh my goodness, I remember making those. She said, I made one for myself, and one for my sister, and one for my mother-in-law. She's like, well, that was like way back in the 60s, she says. And I had told her that I had one that was made by my mother in like the early 70s that I found this year, which I have had in storage and didn't realize it. It was in with the train set, which we haven't had the train set out in over 10 years. But we got it out this year, and lo and behold, inside there was a small one. It's only about this big. Is one that my mom made, and I have that one in my bedroom right now. So, so now I have 3 gorgeous trees, and I am super excited. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you guys because I am super excited about these. I think they are so cool. So let's go ahead and go down to the craft desk and get some work done. So this is a swag that I made years ago, and I want to update. So I'm going to remove the bells and the bow, and I I'm just going to pull it off because I know I just put it on with some hot glue. So I'm pulling that off. And then I'm going to give it a little bit of a fluffing because it's a little smashed looking at the moment. In the last couple months, I have found 6 little brass bells like this. So I'm going to replace the larger bells with these smaller bells. And how I'm going to do that is to use some vintage lace that I have had in my stash for a really long time. So the first thing I'm going to do is just tie the largest bell to the bottom of my piece of lace, give it a little trim at the end, and then add the other 2 bells as well, making sure as I tie them on that when they hang, they're not touching each other, but they're close to each other, if that makes sense. Once I had 1 strand of bells completed, I went ahead and did the same thing with the other 3 bells that I have. Working with 1 strand of bells at a time, I first laid it out onto the swag, and then I held it up to, figure out where I wanted them to actually lay on the swag itself. And once I had the position correct, I just attached it with a little bit of hot glue. And then I repeated the process with the 2nd strand of bells. This time I wanted to make sure that the bells laid nicely in between the bells that I previously attached. So that makes sense. And then I just went ahead and attached it with some more hot glue. I then went ahead and trimmed off the excess lace, and I'm going to use that to wrap around the stems. So I added a little bit of lace on the back side with a little bit of hot glue, and then flipped it back over to the front and used that lace to wrap around the stems. A little bit of glue on the back side on the end holds it all in place. For a finishing touch, I didn't want to add a bow because I wanted this to be very simple, so I just took that other piece of lace that I trimmed off earlier and just tied a simple little knot at the top, and then allowed the ends to hang down onto the swag, and then trim them so that they're about 3 or 4 inches long, and I think this is a nice look. And with that, I am pretty happy with my swag update. The next little craft project today is decorating some packages that I can use to display around the house in little vignettes. So I picked up this fat square of fabric at Walmart, and I'm going to use it to cover this box. Unfortunately, the box design was showing through the fabric, so I cut out some paper to glue to the top so that the little penguin design wouldn't show through. So once that little problem was taken care of, I went about covering the box with the fabric using my hot glue gun. Perfect. Now that I have box number 1 completed, I'm going to move on to do a few more boxes. These I am going to be covering with some vintage wrapping paper that I found at the Goodwill bins last year, and I was trying to figure out a way to use it, and I thought this would be the perfect way to use up these little scraps of adorable wrapping paper. With all my boxes wrapped, and now it was the fun part, embellishing them all. So I started out with the first fabric covered box, and I added this little medallion to the top. And then you'll see I just kind of kept adding little bits and pieces of things until I had a look that I liked. Alright, so I'm done with my first project for today. I had some little, I just wanted to make up some little packages. I know I've seen these at the stores where they have like little presents like wrapped up in like fabric and stuff like that. So I thought it would be fun to do something like that of my own and use up some little itsy bits pieces that I have laying around. So I did one here that is made with fabric around it. And I think that one turned out pretty cute. And then the rest of them I used vintage wrapping paper. I found some little bit of vintage wrapping paper at the bins last year. So I had this cute little bell one. And then this little one right here. It has a holly on it. So I came up with that for this one. And then I had this cute little Santa one. So I just added some little tinsel and some ornaments on that one. And then this one was my favorite. I absolutely love this candy can wrapping paper. So this one I just did some sprigs of greenery, some ribbon, and some ornaments. And I think they turned out super cute. So now I can like put them in different places around the house and have a little festive little package all ready to go. I don't know, it's kind of fun. So I'm excited to get these set out. And I'm liking how they turned out. Another thing that I did today was replace the candlesticks that I had here sitting in my little display on my table with this new candelabra that I just picked up. I think it was last week, maybe the week before, I shared these in a thrift store Thursday. I will link that down below if you guys are interested. But I actually found two of these candelabras, and I think they are amazing. So I've gone ahead and added some flameless candles to them for right now. And I love that they come on every single night, and I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. So I'm loving that. So I need to put these candlesticks away now. And I'm thinking I want to try to work this little package in here. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that. Maybe I'll just move this back a little. No, I don't like that. I don't know, maybe this won't work out. Maybe I'll just have it in front of it. That's what I'll do. And not mess with this. Put these back. And I'll just kind of put him off here in the front like that. I think that was cute enough for now. Alright, so now I just have this one that I need to figure out a place for it. I think I want to put it on this table over here. But I gotta get rid of the stack of clean clothes that needs to get put away. There's always clothes that I just kind of threw on there because my hands were full. And I carried them upstairs. I didn't know where else to put them. So I'm going to put those away, and then we'll put that other package over here. All right, so this last one is going to go over here on this little chair. Fluff the pillow a bit. And there we go. I think that looks super cute. Maybe if I turn it a little more. There we go. Better angles. There we go. Perfect. I think this is adorable. I think this one turned out to be my favorite one. I'm not quite sure why, but it looks like a vintage corsage to me, which is kind of what I was looking for. So, loving this so much. I think it is super cute. All right, so now I need to hang this little guy up on my door. I think it turned out cute. It's kind of looking weird when it's laying on here, but I don't know. It's just a little something. Add a little greenery here on the door, going out the front door, because I have a wreath on the other side. And I wanted to add these bells. I think these bells are so much fun. And they'll twinkle when we go in and out. And I absolutely love the lace. I think that is so fun. So that is my last project for the day. Now I can go watch a basketball game. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching today. I appreciate it. And I will see you in my next video. Bye now.